Good day, Eagles. Like I promised, after the assessment, I will show you guys how to calculate your leverage. So here it is. Without wasting much of our time, this is how we do the leverage calculation and how is it related to our capital, and then how it will help us in determining the profit we are going to get at the end of our trade. So what happened is that this is how it works. Actually, our percentage profit, like that percentage that you're seeing, the one we are updating, let me use it. Percentage profit is equals to, I hope you're understanding it, is equals to the price movement. So we have to know the price movement. What is price movement? If you open your Binance or your Bybit, you see like a certain percentage. Maybe this coin has moved maybe 10%, 3%, 5%. So that is your price movement multiplied by the leverage. So if you use, let's say, 10x, 20x, 30x, so that is how you do it. So now let's use example so that we understand this very well. First and foremost, let me show you how you can get the price movement first. So let me go back to my trading view and find a pair that we can do example with. Okay, this is me in my trading view. Okay, let me use my favorite, IMX. It's my favorite. So IMX, let's see the percentage it moved for that our previous trade. You go to here, you find price range. This is price range at the bottom. You calculate it. This is where we take the trade. Are you seeing the percentage? So we somehow, let's say we close our trade around a price movement of, our TP is around here, 17%. So let's say we close our trade at 17%, guys. So have it at the back of your mind. So now we have our price movement. IMX, from our entry to the take profit, it moved 17%. So now we want to know the percentage of our profit. We want to know our profit. So how we will do that? Like we use the 17% that it moved multiplied by the leverage you use. If you use 20x, if you use 10x, that one is on you. I will later show you what the x means. So like for me personally I use 10x. So this is what I use. So the 10x I use, if you check, you see me having 170% roughly. That is the percentage of my profit that I've gotten. So you see how price movement is related to our leverage. I hope you are getting this thing. So next page. So now let's say we have another pay and a price move, and let's say we use 20%. So imagine somebody use a leverage of 20%, leverage 20x. So we now have 17% price movement multiplied by the 20. So someone will help me do the calculation. I don't have calculator near me, but I think it's a simple calculation. It should be around 340. Yeah, 17 multiplied by 20. Yes, it is 340%. So now this is the percentage of your profit if you use 20x. Imagine you use 25x, because I know some of you have used 25x. So that means that 17 is not actually 17. I deleted the thing, but when I check, maybe when you check it, you see. So that 17 multiplied by 25. We now have 17 multiplied by 25. That is 425% of profit. You understand? So if let's say you stake if maybe you stake 5 USDT. So your profit will now be 5 USDT, 5 multiplied by 425 times 5. Hey, no. What is it? No, not like that too. It should be 5 times 5 times 4.25. 5 times 4.25. 5 times this 1%. So it should be 5 times 425%, which is 5 times 425 over 100, which is 5 times 4.25. I hope you are getting it. It's just normal calculation. If you go over it again and again, you get it. So 5 times 4 so you have a profit of 21.25 USDT from that trade alone if you use 25% leverage. So now what does the leverage means? What does the leverage mean? So now leverage is like your broker borrowing you money. Let's say you have, what is leverage now? How does it work? So now your broker will now, okay, you have $100 account and now you are using 20x leverage. So what it means is that you now have a total capital that you use to trade, which is you multiply the amount you have, your total capital multiplied by the leverage 20. So if you calculate, you have $2,000 in capital. So you see, now your broker has borrowed you money. You understand? They borrowed you money that you can use to get better profit. Hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. So now you see, now you are assuming to have this as your main total capital. This 2,000 is your total capital. So how we use it is, we are using it for risk management. So you cannot stake that particular $2,000 entirely. I always ask you to use 10% to 15% of your capital. I always ask you to use that. You understand? This is what I always ask you to use. So let's say now you are using 10% of your capital. 10%. So what is the 10% of 2,000? That place that you are sliding, you are picking percentage, 10%, 15, 30, 40, depending on your risk appetite. So now let's say we already have 2,000. So multiply by 10 over 100, our 10%. So now if you do the calculation right, you have $2,000 remaining. So now you have $2,000 to stake for that trade that you want to risk 200% and that you want to risk, or maybe expose that you want to expose 10%. You have for this trade. That's not alone. Most of the trade I used to give you, they are in the ratio of 1:3. This one, it means you are willing to lose 1% of your capital that you want to stake for the trade. Of your capital, of this your 10%. You understand? And then this 3% is your gain. So you are willing to gain 3% of what you are going to gain. What you are staking, what you are exposing to the trade. So now what we will use is, let's see how it works. I'll give you I'll give you a practical example. I'll go to the chart and show you how it works. So now let's see what is the 1% of 2000. 1% of 200 that we want to stake. You understand? This is our 10% that we pick. You understand? So now 1% of this should be 1/100 times 200. It should be $2. So if trade goes against you, this is what you are going to lose. You are going to lose $2 if it goes against you. And then what is 3%? 3% of 2000. That should be 3/100 multiplied by 2000. 200, I mean. 3 times is equal to 6. If it goes to your TP, you understand? If it goes to your TP, you are going to gain $6. So you see, this is called risk management. You understand? This is called risk management. So now let me show you something. One of the trade that I just put. Imagine, where is my this thing? Good. If you check this trade, it is in the ratio of 1:4. This particular IMX that I gave us, that is yet to activate, is in the ratio of 1:45. If you check, approximately 1:45. But let's do the calculation. In 1:4. So what is 1%? 1% is already $2. Okay, $2. 1% is already $2. Then what is 4% that we are going to get from the trade? The 4% of our 200 is 4/100 times 2,000. Then which is $8. So this is how it works. So I hope this provide you with a valuable information that you are going to use for your trading, and it will help you in using leverage wisely. You understand? Because you see, the higher the leverage, the higher the risks. You understand? The higher the leverage, the higher the risks. Because this, we use 10% leverage. You understand? We use 10% leverage. 10% leverage. That's what we use for this example. So imagine we use 20% leverage. Or let's say we use 20% leverage. So now if we use 20%, that means with our $100 capital, we have 100 multiplied by, if we use 20x leverage, so we now have 20 times 20. It's like I use 20% leverage at the top. Yeah, I think I use 20% leverage. Yeah, I use 20x. So let's use 50x. Let me delete this. Let's use 50x. So now if we use 50x, that means we have a trading capital of $5,000. We have a trading capital of what? $5,000. So we are going to stake 10% of it. 10%, or let's use 15% based on, say you want to risk modes and you are using higher leverage. So now mostly your Binance or your Bybit will be giving you higher leverage when the price of a coin is very expensive. You understand? If you see the price start with 0.0 something, that one you see smaller leverage, because they don't need to give you much money for you to afford that particular asset. But if for instance you want to trade something that is expensive, maybe the price started from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and thereabout, you see higher leverage because they want to borrow you more money for you to be able to afford the trade. So now let's see we want to trade a coin that is very expensive, so they will borrow you, let's say 50x. So now with the 50x you have a capital of $500 to start it with. So now how much are we going to expose? Let's say we are going to expose 15% expose. We are going to expose 15%. So 15% of 5,000 is equals to 15 over 100 times 5,000. Then the 15 times, sorry, 15 divided by 100 times 5,000. Now we have a trading capital of 750 that we can expose to the trade. We have a trading capital of 750 that we can expose to the trade. So in our IMX trade that is currently at 1:4 ratio, so 1% of 750 is equals to what? That is 7.5. So we are going to lose 7.5. And what is 4% of 750? If the trade goes to our full TP, so 4% of 750 then we are going to gain 4% of 750. We are going to gain $30. So this is how it works. You see, the risk is now higher for the same trade. The risk is now higher and the reward is also higher. I hope you are getting it. Before, for the same trade, we are getting 8% because we use smaller leverage. We are getting $8 because we use smaller leverage, but now we are getting $30 because we use bigger leverage. Thank you very much. I hope from now on you don't have to ask me about anything that has to do with risk management. So save this video and watch it over and over again. Thank you very much.